Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is setting out to be one of, if not the biggest, Marvel films of all time, hinting at more surprises than Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and SpiderMan No Way Home. And with just 2 weeks left until the movie officially releases worldwide, my service to you is going to be to compile a list of all the essential titles you should watch going into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And although we know that characters like Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier will be appearing in the film, I did keep my list to just MCU titles because I have no way of knowing what characters or what versions of those characters are going to appear in the movie. You can watch any non-MCU titles at your leisure, but I compiled a list of the essential MCU titles that you should watch before this film. Now, I found the 8 essential things I believe you should watch, and you may think that's a lot, but it's a lot better than watching over 30 things in 14 days. Now, this list is designed to track 2 key characters' story arcs across the MCU, Doctor Strange and Wanda Maximoff. We know they are going to be the leads of the film, so if there's any characters we're going to track, it's gonna be those 2. So let's hop into this list. I went with Avengers Age of Ultron. It's the second Avengers film, so we are jumping in the middle of a franchise and completely neglecting the first Avengers film, but the reason I find Avengers Age of Ultron so important is that it introduces Wanda Maximoff to the MCU, as well as her brother Pietro and Vision. Very essential characters for Wanda's storyline. And even though it's a film about the Avengers and Captain America, and it's about Ultron and all that, Wanda Maximoff has a very important story in this film, and this film laid the groundwork for the arc that her character goes on up to this point. So this is definitely a film you should watch to prepare for Multiverse of Madness if you really want to know where Wanda's story began.
Looking for you.
Alright, next one. This should go without saying. Doctor Strange. Well, why would you want to watch Doctor Strange? Well, that's because it introduces Doctor Strange as well as Wong, Mordo, 2 characters who we know are going to be in the film, as well as the whole world of magic in the MCU and how sorcery works, and most importantly, just who Stephen Strange is as a character. You will not learn any more about Doctor Strange or this world without watching this film before Multiverse of Madness. So of all the things on my list that you need to watch going into this film, this is without doubt the most essential.
I hope they remember you.
As mentioned before, despite this list being designed to focus on Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, every once in a while we have to deviate, and that brings us to Avengers Infinity War. Both of them are very crucial characters in Avengers Infinity War, and even though Thanos is the main character and some characters like Iron Man or Thor are more crucial, things that happen in this film lead directly into what happens with these characters in the future. Most importantly, things like Wanda having to kill Vision, the whole love story between them. Doctor Strange gets more stuff to do. We get to see some more of how time works and the time stone and all that. It is very, very crucial. This is on just about every prep list for any MCU film because the stuff that happens in Infinity War and later in Avengers Endgame lay the groundwork for everything in the MCU going forward. So could you say this one is optional? Possibly, but I highly disagree with anyone who says you should not watch Infinity War before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because you are missing some key content for both Doctor Strange and Wanda Maximoff.
Whatever it takes.
Alright, and that brings us to the direct sequel to Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Endgame is also on my list. Now, while Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch have barely any screen time in this film, this is still a very important film for both of them. Mainly Doctor Strange because, I mean, the ramifications of what was going on in Endgame and him being able to see the future, stuff like that gets mentioned later on in the MCU. And it's also just another look at what time travel and universe hopping can do to this world, which is something we will be seeing in Multiverse of Madness. So if you want to see that in action, you watch Avengers Endgame. And that's going to wrap up everything for Phase 3. I do find it funny that the essential titles include every Avengers film except the first one, but that's just how it is when you're trying to narrow it down to the most essential titles. Now, let's hop into the next thing.
This is our home.
Then let's fight for it.
Alright, this is the other one that goes without saying. Wanda Vision. If there are two things you need to watch, it's Doctor Strange and Wanda Vision. Doctor Strange introduces the world of Doctor Strange that we will see expanded in the new film, but Wanda Vision tells a very important Wanda Maximoff story. Without Wanda Vision, you do not understand her motives in this film, you do not understand her goals in this upcoming film, you do not know where her character is starting out, you will not understand any of the context behind her character if you do not watch Wanda Vision. Also, it's a great show. Why wouldn't you want to watch it? Yes, this is a custom cover. They never officially released this show on Blu-ray. Alright, the next thing is Loki. Now, Loki is pretty important because for those of you who don't remember Loki, in the final episode of Loki, something happens to the multiverse that is almost certainly going to be a key element of Multiverse of Madness. On top of that, I think Loki is a really great show, and the lead writer of this show is the writer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So things will for sure carry over, and if you want to see some of the multiverse laws and how timelines work and how variants work, this show right here will help you understand that better than anything else on this list. Definitely give Loki a watch in preparation for Multiverse of Madness.
You had me worried for a second.
Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question.
The seventh thing you need to watch is What If. Now, a lot of people might forget about What If, but What If is actually very important. It introduces the whole, the idea of alternate realities, and we get to see a bunch of those other universes. On top of that, on the poster for Multiverse of Madness is Captain Carter, meaning she is in this film. A lot of people also think that evil Doctor Strange right there is in this film. It looks pretty obvious based on the poster, but obviously we have no confirmation of that. And these are also just most of these are some very fun episodes, and you can just start at any place you want and really get sucked into the show as long as you understand some of the larger world of the MCU. They're all relatively short, so if you're just looking for a fun time, especially when so many of the other things on this list are a lot darker, this show can give you that. And because it deals with multiverses, I felt it was a very strong contender for the Essentials list. Give What If a watch.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
Alright, And the last one on this list, and the best one on this list, is SpiderMan No Way Home. This is a very important film because Multiverse of Madness is the direct sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home. In fact, if you saw the original teaser for that film, they used dialogue from No Way Home preceding the trailer right before Doctor Strange comes in, meaning the events of Spider-Man's latest adventure are some events that Doctor Strange is dealing with the ramifications of. This also gives us a great look at how breaking space-time works, where we see characters like Electro, Green Goblin, and Doc Ock all get to interact, as well as Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland. Spoiler alert. And so it's just more context on how the whole multiverse thing works and how it can be broken and exploited and how things can just go wrong. And as the most recent film and and Doctor Strange being the sequel to it, it is among the most crucial things that you can watch. All right. There you go, the 8 essential titles to watch before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Running through it, rapid fire. Avengers Age of Ultron introduces Wanda Maximoff. Doctor Strange introduces the title character and the entire world of magic and sorcery. Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame both expand some of those concepts and those storylines that started in Age of Ultron and Doctor Strange. Wanda Vision, an essential Wanda story that you need to know going into Multiverse of Madness. Loki gives us some great context on how the multiverse works, as well as breaks open the multiverse for characters to explore. We have What If, some very fun adventures with some characters that we will almost certainly be seeing in Multiverse of Madness, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Multiverse of Madness is the sequel to this movie, and this brings together universes and shows us how that whole world works. So I hope this helped you deciding what you need to watch to prepare for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in a world where there is so much Marvel content. And with 2 weeks until the film, I do think it is very possible to get all 8 of those things in if you just set aside some time to watch it and make it happen. My list is not the right list, it's just my list of what I think the essentials are. If you have a different list, if you have a different viewing method, awesome. Hats off to you, but this is just what I plan on watching, what I think is most necessary to watch before this film. So, what did you guys think? What are your essentials going into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and how excited are you for this absolutely bonkers looking film? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, leave a like on this video, subscribe, click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from the MCU HQ. That's gonna be it. Have a great day, guys.